Alright guys, Demare here, back with DM reviews, and today I'll be going over the end credit scene for Moon Knight and breaking it down. So if you guys are new here, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get notified whenever we release a video. Now, just because I'm uploading this video does not mean that we will be doing frequent uploads, and I apologize for that. Just all the people who work on videos for this channel are currently very busy and aren't really able to do videos at the moment. So hopefully when school lets out, we'll be able to do a lot more. So quickly before we actually get into the video, quick spoiler warning. If you were hoping not to get spoiled, well, I'm going to be going over the entire end credit scene. So if you haven't watched the finale for Moon Knight, go watch that and then come back once you are done watching. So I guess on to the actual video. Let's start with what happens in the end credit scene. So it cuts to a hospital and we see Harrow spill a drink, and a nurse goes to help him, but she's stopped by a mysterious figure who then takes Harrow into the hallway in his wheelchair, and Harrow thinks it's one of his men, but then sees dead nurses all over the floor, and he is brought outside to a white limo and then thrown in it. While inside, he sees Khonshu and tells him that he can't hurt him or Ammit, and then Khonshu starts to talk about how Marc thought he wanted his wife to be the next avatar for Khonshu, but Marc doesn't realize how troubled he actually is, and then Khonshu tells Harrow how he wouldn't need anyone else but him. Khonshu then knocks on the limo window as a signal to the driver, and Khonshu introduces us to another one of Marc Spector's alter egos, Jake Lockley, who then shoots Harrow. Then it cuts to an outside view of the limo as it drives away. Now, quickly, before I explain why all this makes sense, if this video hits 10 likes, I will make a video explaining where Marc and Steven, and now Jake, can possibly show up in possible MCU films. I mean, I guess quickly, without an entire video, I do think that's possible that he does show up in Multiverse of Madness. I'm avoiding spoilers so I can make a spoiler-free review. But I honestly think that he could show up for Multiverse of Madness, but if not, I do have a few theories for where he could possibly show up next. So I guess the next logical way to go about this is, why does this make sense? So to some people, Jake's appearance may seem random, but it has been hinted at for a while, and that is why I'm making this video, so I can help explain why it all makes sense. So in the show, there were scenes where Marc and Steven will black out and both would be confused and end up in a situation where neither of them would know what they had done to get there. And this was Jake, and we could tell from the way they does not hesitate to kill Harrow. That kind of shows us that all the bad situations that Marc and Steven would have gotten into, and the situation where Marc thought it was Steven and he killed all those guys, it wasn't him. And then the last episode where Marc has the scepter at Harrow's head ready to kill him, that was also Jake. But the next question that some people may have is, why are they still with Khonshu? And I think in episode 6 it kind of reveals itself. When Steven and Khonshu were agreeing on their new terms when Marc was revived, Khonshu said, "I will release you both," meaning Marc and Steven, but nothing was ever said about Jake, meaning that Marc and Steven had no idea about Jake, and that he was still the avatar for Khonshu, meaning that they would still all be together with Khonshu as his avatar. So, what does this potentially set up for the future of Moon Knight in the MCU? But not in any other thing, specifically Moon Knight. So this sets up a couple of things, and the first thing is a storyline where Marc and Steven try to figure out why they're still waking up in random places if they now know each other, and they're now, I mean, technically one, they could switch at will without even a mirror, but this will cause them to eventually find out about Jake, and when they do, they will find out that Khonshu had kept Jake, and therefore them as well as the Avatar. And the second thing that we could possibly get to see is Jake being born, sort of like how we see when Steven was born, and if it was as good as Steven's origin, I am all here for it. So I guess there would be some sort of traumatic event in Marc's life that would lead him to create Jake. And to create Jake, it must have been something very, very, very dark. And on the topic of Jake and Marc, I guess for the next season, I think it would be cool if it opens on one of those times where the screen and the sounds just flash and he just wakes up, and Marc and Steven are trying to figure out what the heck is going on. But I think both of these two things that I just mentioned for the next season possibly is with Marc and Steven trying to figure out about Jake, and then Jake's like birth, I guess. I think those are two very, very cool storylines that we could possibly explore. But I guess, what did you guys think of this video? Let me know. Do you guys have any video suggestions? Don't forget to comment them in the description below. I hope you found this video informative. This is Demare, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.